Hey everyone, I'm going to do a quick YouTube video on a demo of the new Assault RC Perfect Damper Rebound Gauge. So I went Facebook Live explaining how to do this on Facebook Live, but this video is going to be a much faster way to see what I did instead of looking through the Facebook Live video. So thank you to all of you who are on Facebook Live. I did mention on Facebook Live that Brent has agreed to give one of these away. He graciously said that he would give one of these away after me doing my demo video on it. So to figure out how you can win one of these, you'll need to listen to my next podcast episode, and it will tell you all the details of how you can win one of these. Brent will actually ship it to your door for free if you win. So thank you to Brent for allowing us to do a giveaway with this tool. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you guys how to use this tool. So what this tool is this tool is a way, you can see there are different settings on it. There's different numbers. They go from 1mm to 8mm. This tool is a way to consistently set your rebound and then also use this as a tuning tool on the track. So what rebound is when you push your shock shaft in. If your shock shaft does not come out, that means you have no rebound. That means you have a dead shock. If you push your shock shaft in the shock and your shock starts to come back out, that's called rebound. So having no rebound, again, is called a dead shock. There's no rebound, the shock's not coming out when it compresses in. Having a lot of rebound means that your shock would push out quickly when you try to push it back in. That would be a shock with a lot of rebound. So what this tool does is it helps you set how much rebound you want to have in your shock. And if you're not familiar with rebound, what rebound does on the track is if you have a car with no rebound, you set your shocks dead, so to speak. What will happen is when your car is driving or you go over a jump, your car just kind of settles. If you have a shock with a lot of rebound though, when you go over a jump and you land, your shock's gonna want to bounce a lot because the shock shaft is being pushed out quickly because there's a lot of rebound there. So because that's happening, when you land, your car's going to be very bouncy. And really what it is think of if there's a hole in the track, your car is wanting to fill that hole. So if there was a hole in the track and you had a lot of rebound, it would want to fill it quickly. If there was a hole in the track and you didn't have a lot of rebound in your car, then it would just kind of settle into that hole. So you can also think of it as the bouncing motion too. If your car is kind of very bouncy, you probably have a lot of rebound. There's other reasons too, but that's definitely one of them. So now I'm going to show you how you can use this tool while you're building your shocks. So I already have oil in my shocks. I'm rebuilding my shocks for the Fuel Nationals. So I went ahead and I put 45 in the front and I put 42.5 in the rear, and now I'm ready to use this tool to build them. So prior to having this tool, you want to go ahead and put the bladder on. Prior to having this tool, how I would set my rebound is it's best practice for hot bodies to push the shock shaft up, and when you feel the piston touch the bladder, that's kind of where you would set it. Not very consistent because when I build all 4 of my shocks, I'm just going by feel and not really by a setting. So what this tool does is it allows me to be consistent when I'm building my shocks. You can also use this tool as a tuning tool though, because if your car is feeling a little bit too bouncy and maybe you set your rebound at say 6mm like I'm about to now, then maybe you want to drop down and you want to try to eliminate some rebound to make your car less bouncy. So you would try 5mm or 4mm or 3mm. So this tool can be used as a testing / tuning tool too. Something definitely cool to try on a test day. So what I'm going to set my shocks at is I'm going to set it at 6mm. I figured out that when I push this shock shaft up and the piston kind of touches it, it's closest to 6mm, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and set my shocks at. So I'm going to take the 6mm setting, and you want to make sure that the numbers are facing down. You want the flat side to be up. So with the numbers facing down, I'm going to put the shock shaft in the 6mm setting. Once I have the tool in here, now I want to go ahead and push my shock shaft up. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to leave my tool in the shock shaft, and I'm just going to set it against the table, and I'm going to push down on my shock shaft until I can't push down anymore. Okay, so that's me setting it at 6mm. Now what's super important is you want it to stay at this setting. So for it to stay at this setting, you do not want to remove the tool until after you've put the top on and put the set screw in. That's how you're going to set it and lock this setting in. So do not take this tool out until you put the shock cap on and you put the set screw in. So I'm going to go ahead and put my cap on. You can see I have a little bit of excess oil coming out there. Okay, and then to make sure I set that setting, before I take the tool out, I want to also put my set screw in. Okay, so that's the whole point of setting Rebound, is that you're locking it to this setting. You can't lock it to this setting until the cap is on and the set screw is in. Okay, once you have the cap on and the set screw in, then you're done. You've set your Rebound. So you can go ahead and remove the tool at this point and proceed with your other shocks. So you can see Rebound, when I push my shock in, is how much the shock shaft comes out, and you could see it kind of came out there a little bit. That's how much Rebound I set. If you had a dead shock, when I push the shock in, it wouldn't come out at all. That's called a dead shock. I set my Rebound though at 6mm, so that's why you see it coming out a little bit. And then if you had a shock with a lot of Rebound, what I was talking about earlier is if you push your shock shaft in, it would want to come immediately out once you let it go. Obviously mine's not doing that because that's not how I set my shock, but that would be an example of a shock with a lot of Rebound. So now you know how to use this tool. Hopefully you enjoyed my video or enjoyed my Facebook Live. I will be doing the giveaway on my podcast, so make sure you listen to the next podcast episode to figure out how to win one of these. Thanks guys, talk to you soon.